What is up, everybody? Keith Jamison, go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS Street, and I am so pumped to be here talking DFS Soccer on the Mayo Media Network. Huge shout out to Pat and his entire team for giving soccer a chance to shine on the network, and really just, an opportunity for us to teach you guys a phenomenal DFS sport. And, when you get good at it, you really understand the strategy. It is one of the best sweats in DFS you will find. Quick reminder, if you want all of these soccer videos on top of all the other things in the network, bottom right of the screen is the subscribe button for the YouTube channel, where you can get all of the videos to your feed. And then if you are just wanting audio, search DFS Picks and Bets, the mix, part of the Mayo Media Network, and that will be hit to your feed too. It's also in the descriptions of this video. All right, let's jump into Saturday, February 13th, 3-game staggered start slate. I kind of want to go over just like a couple of DFS Soccer, like 101 things. First off, you will notice with my picks, I am not here to provide the guys that are going to score goals. Scoring goals is one of the hardest parts of the sport and the hardest parts to predict. The coolest part about DFS Soccer, I think what makes the strategy of this game so different and so awesome comparative to other sports, is you can find phenomenal plays that will hit value and sometimes even outscore goal scorers based on their set piece role. Now, when I say set pieces, are defined as corner kicks or other dead ball opportunities where you normally have 1 to 2 players on a team that are designated the set piece takers that are going to take those opportunities, and typically it results in a cross, which on DraftKings is 0.7 points. Because it's a dead ball opportunity, you have a chance for the team to actually have some design plays, design movements where even like the taller defenders, the center backs get involved. And more often than not, they do result in more shot opportunities than an open play. So if your set piece taker gets a cross plus a shot assist, that's 1.7 DK points. And now if that shot results in a goal, look, now you got 7.7 DK points from one play, which is why, set piece takers are so valuable, and why you'll see a lot of the top guys, especially in cash games, higher stakes, really target lineups with as many set piece takers as you can get. All right, so that will be a lot of the players that you will see me point out. One other thing with these staggered slates, in Champions League, which will be back next week, all the games will be at once. Well, actually, I guess they'll be staggered at this point, but a lot of the times throughout the year, you get them all at once. With staggered slates, you got to be a little bit more careful with your roster construction. So if you have a guy this Saturday in the 10 a.m. game, the Burnley versus Crystal Palace, and you have him in your utility space, let's say he's in midfield, make sure you switch him in that midfield spot in the utility, because you're going to want utility to have the most flexibility, because that can become a defender, it can become a midfielder, it can become a forward in later games. If one of the guys that you were hoping to be in is not there, you can use that spot to kind of make your lineup work a little bit better. So just, DFS tip 101 from me on roster construction and flexibility. All right, let's get into the picks, which is ideally what you're here for. So, I'm going to start with forward position. My favorite forward on this slate is Dwight McNeil at 6,900. Crystal Palace gives up a lot of open play, crosses, and also gives us a lot of set pieces. Dwight McNeil split sets with Ashley Westwood. Dwight McNeil takes all the in-swinging corners, but he also combines really, really good open play value, where he even, in non-dead ball opportunities, is an active shooter, active crosser, and just makes plays. At sub 7,000, I think he gives us a really, really nice forward option to start our lineups. And at his price is, honestly, compared to the slate, in my opinion, is a little bit underpriced for his role. I think a lot of other people are going to be gravitating towards Pascal Gross as well at 8,400 versus Brighton. Now, he did just play today. I'm taping this on Wednesday night. He played today in the FA Cup. He is likely to be in Saturday as well. Since Solly March went down, Pascal Gross now has been on a monopoly of set pieces. I mean, he takes all of them, doesn't really have to share. And versus Villa, it's kind of a neutral matchup where, I do think that he thrives. If you look at his logs over and over again, Pascal Gross, just always gets there, it seems. He also benefits on being on penalty kicks for Brighton. So I think he's a solid option. You may also see people on Eze from Crystal Palace. If Andros Townsend is not in, Eze is likely to take all the set pieces for Palace. He's also a young, exciting player, likes to take guys on, draw fouls, shoot. So he's a nice player. Just at 8,200, I think I'd probably prefer Gross. Then I think you'll see a lot of other people maybe not take either of those guys, or a combination of McNeil, Gross, and Eze with a City piece. Manchester City is the biggest favorite on the slate. So you're likely to see some ownership on guys like Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling, and if like Gabriel Jesus starts, he might be owned as well. The biggest problem with all those guys is without a goal or assist, they're probably not going to pay off. But the guys like McNeil, Gross, and Eze all could get to double digits without a goal or assists, hence why I like them. At the midfield spot, Phil Foden is actually the first guy into all my lineups. Phil Foden is one of the best young players in the world. He absolutely destroyed Liverpool, not even playing his normal position. Pep Guardiola played him as a false nine. But since Kevin De Bruyne went down, Phil Foden has been taking a majority of set pieces for City. On top of that, he combines just his elite talent to draw fouls, create shots. Again, he takes some corners, just everything you could possibly want out of a DFS soccer player, Phil Foden gives you. And on top of that, this matchup from a DFS perspective for Man City is almost about as good as you can get. Tottenham is the type of team that they want to bunker and accept pressure and hit you on the counter. Like Jose Mourinho actually wants to invite as much pressure as he can because he thinks at that point is the best chance for Tottenham to catch City on the break and score. So what that's going to cause is early and often a lot of shots for City. More shots means more DFS opportunities. I think at 8,600, Phil Foden is just too cheap. The other guy I love on Saturday is Jack Grealish. Now, you might hear me call him Jackie Calves. If you don't know why, type in Jack Grealish calves on Google search, and you'll see why. He probably has some of the biggest calf muscles you'll ever see. He has never missed a leg day in his life. But on top of that, and why he works so hard, is he draws fouls at an elite rate, takes some sets, shoots, creates some. I think at this point, I think he's actually the top shot creator in the Premier League. And it's just probably the single best floor in the Premier League as well. And at 9,100, I think he's just a little bit too cheap. Brighton has been struggling a bit since Solly March went down and without Tariq Lamptey. So their two starting wingbacks aren't there, which is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Jack Grealish. So at 9,100, I love him here. He and Phil Foden are the two guys that, kind of in my main and cash lineups are going to be my two non-negotiable pieces. They're going in and I'll figure it out afterwards. I'm going down to defender. I think João Cancelo stands out as the top defender on the slate. And then after him, it's actually a pretty weak position. Now, João Cancelo can play all over the place for Man City. He can play right wing back. He can play like a right center midfield role or even a left back. And no matter where they put him, he always seems to produce, especially in this matchup. I talked about Foden that Man City is going to be on the offensive and that Tottenham is going to let them be on the offensive, making Cancelo to me close to double-digit floor and at 5,600 is a really, really solid play. Now, because defender is so weak, I think this might be a position where we want to try to find our value. As you scroll down the defender list, you're going to see a lot of guys you're just not that excited to play. So I'm kind of actually going to gravitate down towards even center backs. Now, typically in DFS soccer, we want to target fullbacks. They're out wide. They can cross the ball. Crosses create shots. They can get more tackle opportunities, more chances to draw fouls. But I think on the slate, outside of João Cancelo, there's not a lot of defenders that are going to do that at an elite clip. So I'm going to be looking for, maybe some center backs. Ben Mee is a guy I love that punched my king of the pitch ticket this season, but very active header of the ball, gets a lot of tackles, just very, very active. Activity is what you want to see if you're going to be punting a defender. Jacob Tarkowski, his teammate, also is the same way. And then I think, what I'm probably going to do is try to leave spots because Ruben Dias, the superb center back for Manchester City, left the game injured today. Actually, not left the game injured. He was left out. It looks like they said, I think he has like flu-like symptoms. And in 2021, who knows what that means, right? But if he were to miss, we probably get Aymeric Laporte at sub 3,000. Manchester City backs, because just the style that they have, they pass the ball a ton. So they actually come in with a built-in 2 to 3 DK floor. Then anything else they do is just bonus. So at sub 3K, I think he's great. And then obviously you want to just pay attention. If you ever see a fullback starting at under 3,000, especially on a slate where salary might be tough, you want to lock them in. Goalie. Here's what I'll tell you on goal. My strategy, week to week, plug in the cheapest goalkeeper in your lineups, make the rest of your lineup. And if you find that you love your lineup with the cheapest goalkeeper, you just need to run it. But if you find out that, look, the last piece, that savings isn't getting you somebody that you like, or you like paying up at another goalkeeper and you found another value you can use, then you mix and match. But I love starting with the cheapest guy to make sure I love the rest of my lineup and then make adjustments from there. So this week, that's Hugo Lloris, who, look, he played phenomenal versus Man City the first game. Hugo Lloris gets a ton of opportunities to save shots just by the nature of the way that the Spurs play and inviting pressure. So I think he's going to be very, very popular. I do like him a lot. I think pivots are Nick Pope, who is probably the best shot-stopping goalie in the league, versus a Crystal Palace team that, if no Wilf Zaha, they struggle. So I think that Burnley, Nick Pope, and I can't think of it, Hugo Lloris are my two favorite goalkeepers. Finally, as a GPP dart, and this might come off weird, the highest price goalkeeper on the slate, Ederson, could take penalty kicks. Pep dodged the question, but Ilkay Gundogan missed a penalty horrifically. City penalties were awful until they gave it to Kevin De Bruyne, who is out. And supposedly in training, Ederson is the best taker. So if you just I'm definitely going to do at least once in GPP, just in case, would love nothing more than my goalie to score a goal. Finally, just want to give you guys two bets that I'm going to be looking at. So first off, the first game, if you do not see Wilf Zaha, so this is going to be a bet you want to wait until you see the lines. But if you don't see Wilf Zaha for Crystal Palace, I love Burnley's money line. I think, and then, you can actually parlay it with Crystal Palace under on the goals, depending on where the total is. Crystal Palace just doesn't score without Wilf Zaha. So I'd love that bet. And then I think Aston Villa has a lot of value going to Brighton late. Since Solly March and Tariq Lamptey have been out, Brighton just hasn't looked all that great. I say that and they beat my team, Liverpool, but wasn't in convincing fashion. Aston Villa is a team that I think is really talented. They just made some great signings at the deadline too, with Morgan Sansonen, who's not, I don't know if he's going to start yet, but he's a phenomenal player from Marseille. I just think Villa is on the ascent and has a really good chance to give you some good value on their number, depending on what books you look at, a little bit of a dog away to Brighton. So I like that play as well. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Quick reminder, once again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right so you get all these videos and your feed as we move forward. Thank you all so much for watching. Keith Jamison, go by Gator Guy 231. Thank you and see you.